Hi everyone and welcome back to another exciting episode of the Ungrownups video transmission. Today we're going to be taking a look at Batman Unlimited, the Penguin. And I promise you that I actually do feel better than I sound. I have had the flu for the past week, and today's like the first day that I felt like getting back into the studio and actually shooting a review for you guys. And coincidentally, I got this guy in today, so I was like, what better way to celebrate my return than the Penguin? Now, I will tell you real quickly, this guy represents a journey for me that started about 4 years ago, and he is the ending of a long journey. And if you'll indulge me for a minute, I just want to take a quick minute to give you a little history lesson of why this guy is so important. So let's get this guy moved out of the way, and I'll meet you right back. Okay, so why is the Penguin so important? Okay, well, the reason is, about 4 years ago, I picked up Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf was one of the figures, like I think he was like in wave 6 or 7 or 8 or so in the DC Universe Classics line. He was the very first DC Universe Classics figure I bought, and I bought him because I had him as a kid, and he came in the DC Superpowers line. The Superpowers line, for any of you guys who listen to the podcast know, it's absolutely one of my, by far, hands down, favorite toy lines from my childhood. I loved this guy when I got him as a kid. I didn't know who he was. I'd never read New Gods. I didn't know where he fit into the Pantheon. I didn't even know whose bad guy he belonged to. Like, I just had him fight everybody. He fought Batman. He fought Superman. I didn't know. He fought everybody. So when I saw the updated version of Steppenwolf, man, nostalgia kicked in quick, and I was like, I have to pick this guy up. Well, then it sort of put the DC Universe Classic figures on my radar. And then I started noticing, when I started learning more about the line, that Mattel and the Four Horsemen, all the way back as early as like 2006, were trying their best to recreate the Superpowers line. And this was something that was just never on my radar. I never knew that they were doing this. And I go back to, like I said, around 2006, Mattel and the Four Horsemen had a line called DC Superheroes. And they were putting out figures basically that were only based on the Superman and Batman heroes and villains. But these, in the Superman line, these were the versions of Lex Luthor and Brainiac that they give us. Now, these were by far not contemporary versions of these characters. These figures were actually based on their 1980s Superpowers collection molds. I mean, these guys are phenomenal, and if you're a fan of the series, if you know Superpowers, you know that these figures very accurately capture the heart and soul of those characters. They don't have the same action features as the Superpowers collections did. They don't have, like, you can't squeeze their legs and their arms do anything, or vice versa. But these guys were awesome. So I had to go back and get them off eBay. I had to go back and start collecting, collecting all of the DC Universe superheroes and Universe Classic figures that were tying into this Superpowers collection rebirth that Mattel and the Four Horsemen were giving us. So that's why, like, I've been really excited about the DC Universe Classics line, is because over the years they've slowly but surely been giving us, all 33 original figures from the Superpowers collection. So now what Mattel is doing in the Four Horsemen is they're going back and they're repainting some of the older figures that they'd already previously given us, but in their Superpowers collection paint schemes. So here's a good example of Mr. Freeze. Now, Mr. Freeze had been given to us already in the, I want to say it was in the DC Superheroes collection. If that's not correct, somebody down in the comments correct me. But they'd already given us a fairly accurately colored Mr. Freeze. He was like blue and gray, and he looked great as a Mr. Freeze character from the comics, but he didn't look like his Superpowers collection counterpart, which was mostly white and red and some purple and some blue. So when Mattel and the Four Horsemen sort of started transitioning the DC Universe Classics line, and they sort of started, there was a spin-off, it was, Batman Legacy. And Batman Legacy Wave 1, they give us an accurately colored, to the Superpowers collection, Mr. Freeze. And so I was like, man, Penguin can't be far behind, right? Well, that same year that he sort of came out, last year in Toy Fair, they sort of, Mattel and the Four Horsemen debuted this Penguin figure that we got in today, so we all kind of knew it was coming. Now, this isn't actually the first Penguin figure that they've given us. Way back in DC Universe Classics wave 1, we did get a penguin. And, you know, as far as penguins go, he looks great. He looks like he could have been pulled out of any, you know, Batman comic or cartoon. He's got, you know, your standard, you know, penguin coat and tails, the top hat. He looked great. Sorry I don't have the umbrella. I had to end up getting this guy off eBay just to complete my Superpowers collection, and he was actually really expensive. So I got a loose one with very loose joints and no umbrella just to fill the slot. So, but unfortunately, this guy is going on eBay as soon as this video is over because we now have the more accurately colored one. So we're going to get this guy out of the way for now. We'll bring him back in a little bit. See how loose his head is for a comparison shot. But we're going to get him out of the way for now and take a look at the new Batman Legacy Penguin. Okay, so thanks for indulging me in that quick little history lesson about why this guy is so important. Because as you can see, he is more accurately colored to the Superpowers collection, even down to the bright yellow, red, and blue umbrella, which is great. It's awesome. And sorry I keep referring to this guy as Batman Legacy. He is actually in the Batman Unlimited series, which accounts for the different packaging. I'm really glad he came out in this series of packaging rather than the Batman Legacy, because those packages are huge. I actually think this is a really nice package. Nice big art right here on the side. Classic penguin from Superpowers. I love this shot. I'm so glad they included it. And turning him around on the back, you see that picture again. You know, you can pause the video here and read the write up on him. You can also see the sort of his stats and information. Information that Batman would keep on him from the computer, Bat files. And you can also see the other two figures that are in this wave, which is Batgirl and Batman. Batman being the updated new 52 look, so the gray. I've got a Batman. I've got tons of Batman figures. I've got a Batgirl figure. So really and truly, this guy was who I was wanting out of this wave. I would say I picked this guy up from Big Bad Toy Store. I know that Batman Unlimited is typically found at Target. I don't know if Target's still carrying these figures. So I'd say if you too are wanting to finish your Superpowers collection, you may want to go ahead and get this guy ordered up from any of your toy buying sites online, because not sure he'll last long. Then again, we could see him in stores and he could be a peg warmer. You know, who knows? Who can predict these things? So let's get this guy opened up and take a closer look. Okay, so here we have the Penguin opened up and out of his package. And man, I gotta tell you, this is an awesome, awesome figure. I've been waiting so long to finally add this guy to my collection. He looks so good. The paint job is spot on. Here, let me just move him to the side real quick and move this out of the way. And what I'll do is, here, as you can see, here he is in his Superpowers version. He's spot on. The head sculpt is like perfect. The colors match. It's just great. It is just so cool to have this guy in hand. And to actually have an umbrella, because I've had the other one for years without an umbrella, so it's great. He does come with this little piece here. It connects to the umbrella, which I'll show you. See if I can get this out of his hand. I know I'm going to knock him over, so I'll just go ahead and take him out now. And as you can see, the umbrella is very accurately colored and detailed. I actually like the old Superpowers umbrella that I had was actually all yellow. The handle was yellow, and it had a little feature where you pushed up, and a little plastic blade came out of the end, almost like the early bird lightsabers in the old Star Wars figures. I will hypnotize you with my umbrella. Oh, this is awesome. Well, what you could do is you can take this little Gatling gun piece here, and you can actually fit it onto the umbrella. And I don't think, no, the umbrella doesn't come off. The canopy doesn't come off the actual handle. So you can actually use it like that, I guess, to shoot through. Oh, it's great. It's awesome. So it almost looks like he's playing violin here. That's kind of cool. So as you can see, I'm going to put the old one back out here. I would have just been happy with a simple repaint of this guy. If that's all Mattel would have given us, I think I would have been just happy with just the paint alone. But what I really am really happy that they did was they went in and gave us a new head sculpt. So as you can see here, this version of old Oswald Cobblepot is very menacing. He's very animalistic. His features are very sharp. You can see the extremely pointed nose, like the fang-like teeth, and he just has a real mean, harsh look to him. You can, overall, you can see that basically the sculpt is exactly the same on this figure as the new. I don't think they went, try to reinvent the wheel here, but oh, sorry about that. But as you can see here, we have a much nicer head sculpt. It's very cartoony, very, very much like the old original Superpowers figure. And man, he just looks so good. There's a slight sheen to the white paint that's on his undershirt and bow tie. I'm glad that this part does look like a new part of the sculpt here. You can see how they've got the undercoat underneath here, which the other part, it's all one piece. But the pants look the same, the shoes, arms, hands, all look the same. The hat is new and different, a little shorter, a little squattier. And I like that. God, this guy just looks so great. Turn him around. You can see coat and tails. I like I said, I don't think they went and tried to, set out to sort of reinvent the wheel here and go with an all-new sculpt. But the little touches that they added, they certainly add a lot to this guy. So let's get the umbrella back in his hands. Sorry, this won't be a long review. I've already taken up a lot of time already. Let's get this guy out. Oh, he's looking sharp. Oh man, I'm so glad like finally have this guy back in his proper colors to represent the Superpowers line. I mean, if you collect DC Universe Classics figures, you know about the articulation that's there. I'm so blown away by the new head sculpt. I didn't even realize it was a new head sculpt until I got the figure in hand. I guess I never looked at the pictures, too well from Toy Fair last year. But man, this guy looks great. He's finally gonna round out the collection that I started about 4 years ago. And I did something really special. I used to be really big on Flickr and take a lot of photographs of my figures and stuff. And so I'll put a link down below in the show notes to my actual my Flickr page where I've gone in and photographed these figures in the same sort of pose that they were in on the back of their package in the Superpowers collection, and I've redone the added a yellow background, and I've added the logos and stuff. Like I said, I'll put a link down below. You guys can see how nerdy I really am. And I even had to go so far as to like color this guy in Photoshop. Or actually, sorry, color this guy in Photoshop to look like this guy. Because I really wanted him in this color scheme. So again, Batman Unlimited wave. I'm not even sure what wave this is. But you can get these guys. Like I said, I got this guy from Big Bag Toy Store, about $18 plus shipping. So I'm sure you can find him there, and Entertainment Earth and places like that. So thanks for joining me. It's good to be back among the living. I'm glad I'm finally getting over this flu. And as always, we're going to ask if you dug the video, give us a like, drop us a comment, or subscribe to our channel. You can also find us on Facebook.com/Ungrownups, and you can check out our podcast, which comes out every 2 weeks at iTunes.com/Ungrownups, or you can just search for Ungrownups on there, or you can hit us up at Ungrownups.com. And until next time, I'm just going to sit back and stare at this video. This is so awesome. Later.